Ronnie Coleman is not your typical person. As evidence, consider the fact that he abruptly quit using steroids and experienced no negative side effects. In case you missed it, he also squatted 800 solid-ass pounds effortlessly. Ronnie Coleman is also known as the real-life version of the Hulk, not just for his genes, but also his incredible work ethic. Having won the Mr. Olympia title for 8 straight years, Coleman is widely recognized as one of the best bodybuilders of all time. The retired pro also once held the record for most wins in the International Federation of Bodybuilding and Fitness. However, after pictures of him in a wheelchair spread on the net, fans were concerned about the current state of the legend. Background: Coleman was born on May 13, 1964, in Monroe, Louisiana. He got his bachelor's degree in accounting from Grambling State University in 1984. Ronnie loved football and was a middle linebacker for the football team GSU Tigers while he was there. He opted to go to Texas in the hopes of getting better work possibilities as an accountant. Young Coleman unfortunately had no luck and ended up working at Domino's Pizza to make ends meet. After reading about a vacancy in a paper, he became a police officer in Arlington, Texas. He had that position from 1989 to 2000, and up to 2003 as a reserve. During some of those years, he started competing while working as a sheriff. Early career. During his employment at the station, Gustavo Arlotto, a friend and fellow officer, encouraged him to join the Metroflex gym. And this was where it all started for Coleman. In exchange for participating in the Mr. Texas competition, Coleman was offered a free gym membership. He went on to win the competition, even beating the guy who trained him for it. After this, Coleman finished third at the NPC Championships in 1990. But this was not good enough for him. The smart man took a step back and got ready for the 1991 World Amateur Championships held in Poland. He won the gold and earned the title of professional at 27 years old. Professional life. Upon becoming a pro, Ronnie Coleman did not win a show until the 1995 Canada Pro Cup, where he defeated Rich Gaspari and Milo Sarchev, two titans of the sport. His reputation steadily grew, and the next year he won the same championship, proving that he could compete with bigger stakes. He won his first Mr. Olympia title in 1998. Coleman dominated the international bodybuilding competition from 1998 to 2005, setting a record most athletes can only dream of breaking. He was finally defeated by future 4-time champion Jay Cutler in 2006. Ronnie Coleman's life took a very bad turn after having one of the most renowned bodybuilding runs ever. He confessed that he worked out and won numerous contests while battling with a herniated disc, a spinal condition that can lead to intense pain and even paralysis. If someone has a back condition, they typically seek treatment straight away, but not Coleman. He ignored the pain and continued to compete. He needed many back operations and a few hip surgeries as a result of this. Let us explain that a slipped or herniated disc isn't a straightforward kink that you can eventually foam roll out. For people who have never experienced its unpleasantness, your spinal bones are separated by elastic discs, which generally as a result of a serious accident can push through the protective shell and produce excruciating pain and numbness. A herniated disc may, in rare circumstances, result in paralysis. Usually when a disc issue arises, patients seek therapy straight after. Coleman, who injured his disc in a squatting accident in 1996, didn't receive any such assistance. Coleman stated that he simply continued working out. Even after noticing something went wrong that day, he continued to exercise. He reported hearing a loud crushing sound. "I weakened a little, I heard it, yet your ambition side says, let's continue." He opted to visit the emergency department since he was still in agony hours after that workout. Due to back injuries sustained while playing football in college and weightlifting in high school, the 8-time Mr. Olympia is accustomed to suffering. Only after Coleman retired in 2007 did he get disc surgery. However, the harm was already done and could not be undone. In an interview, he describes how the first herniated disc feels like you stack a lot of cans on top of each other and one snaps out. Well, eventually the other ones will begin to seem out of place too. Since then, he has had surgery on nearly all of the discs in his neck and back, and 2 weeks ago he learned that he has another disc in his neck that will require treatment. Coleman has had 13 operations on his spine so far, and the numerous screws, cages, and bolts that were implanted in him nearly crippled him. He has lost most of his mobility, however. He can still move with minimal help. He said that all the gear kind of messes with the nerves. He acknowledges that this ongoing desire to exercise despite the advice of his physicians has made those problems worse. He is currently either using a wheelchair or walking with crutches. Coleman was a guest on renowned UFC commentator and comedian Joe Rogan's famous podcast, Joe Rogan Experience. In the 90-minute session, Coleman and Rogan talked about a range of subjects, including his career, size, and his preparation for Mr. Olympia. Rogan and the majority of listeners were astonished when Coleman also disclosed on the show his diet and body fat percentage. What a lot of people don't realize is that although you can see how huge I am up there, it took me a long time to get there. It didn't happen overnight. I gained between 5 and 10 pounds, 2 to 4.5 kilograms of muscle per year, and that was the result of all the heavy lifting and incessant eating. To me, it wasn't much, but if a regular person attempted to eat it, it would definitely be a lot. So I would have 1 pound, 450 grams of grilled chicken breast along with half a cup of rice. I typically ate 6 meals a day. I would have to go up in the middle of the night to eat and then go back to sleep because it's sort of difficult to eat like this. To begin to adjust to it, you become ravenous after eating in such a manner every 3 hours. You become hungry every 2 to 3 hours since you don't consume a lot of fat. It's lean and I don't consume a lot of carbohydrates, so I eat a small bit at a time. 56-year-old Coleman said he just began competing professionally in bodybuilding to receive a free gym membership. And Coleman said that after starting, he had an astonishingly low body fat of 0.33%. Rogan was shocked at what he had just said, as he could not believe it. Ronnie Coleman the King is a documentary that follows Coleman's life from his simple upbringing in the country where he spent his time fishing and participating in different sports, to his dominance of the bodybuilding world, where he ultimately ended up crippled and forced to relearn how to walk every year, following numerous spinal fusions, disc decompressions, and hip replacements. Coleman is seen continuing to work out in a video that he uploaded with his more than 3 million Instagram followers. Seeming to be back on his feet and working out, in a very inspirational video he writes about his regrets. So you guys still want to be like me, and you still want to have the same work ethic I had. Well, as you can see, I'm 8x Mr. Olympia, and I can't walk. I endured an 11-hour major back surgery last Tuesday. Do I have any regrets? If I had a chance to do it all over again, would I change anything? Yes, if I had a chance to do it all over again, I would change one thing. That is when I squatted that 800 pounds, I would do 4 reps instead of 2. That is my only regret in my career. Those 2 reps I did still haunt me today because I know I had 4 in me, but the coward in me only did 2. That is my only regret. During his prime, Coleman revolutionized bodybuilding by outstripping the top competitors in the sport, while still keeping their symmetry and composition. His Mike Tyson-like lisp, laid-back demeanor, and catchphrases like lightweight baby and yeah buddy made him a huge fan favorite. Before being defeated in 2006, Coleman held the Mr. Olympia crown for 8 straight years. Coleman declares, "Every operation I've had has cost between $300,000 and $500,000 total. My most recent 3 operations totaled about $2 million. What a large sum of money." Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button if you enjoyed it. Until next time.